I'm Italian, I'm European, I'm Russian. And it is from this Italian square I want to tell you a story that began in another square, in Maidan, in Ukraine. 1 year ago, Ukrainian people took part in a demonstration at Maidan Square in Kiev because they wanted a better life. In a period in which millions of people all over the world dream of a better life, I try to understand those who believe that, thanks to the Maidan revolution, Ukrainian citizens would have seen the beginning of a better life. I understood that they were happy, all singing the national anthem, the same chorus. Likewise, I try to understand those who had a lack of trust in this revolution, considering that it was conveyed by the West, and that would have divided Ukraine. Therefore, citizens of Donbass in the referendum voted for independence. I try to understand those who believe that, thanks to the referendum, citizens would have seen the beginning of a new life. Likewise, I try to understand those who had a lack of trust in the referendum, considering that it was conveyed by Russia, and that would have divided Ukraine. The civil war began. Innocent young men lost their lives as soldiers, Ukrainian and Donbass. Thousands of innocent civilians escaped from Donbass. Thousands died. Italian photographer Andy Rocchelli documented what was happening in the first months of the conflict. Then he died in the war also. Several families, relatives, and friends who until 1 year ago loved each other, separated from each other, and this division caused sorrow. Many people who lived a normal life until that moment suddenly felt scattered into pieces. And even our culture was broken into pieces. Therefore, for some of us, it became more difficult to love, to listen to others, to listen to self, as suddenly everything collapsed. Many of us have clung to their own truths, opposed to the one of the other. But what secrets are hidden behind the war? Opening of new markets, military expansion, selling out state-owned companies to the private groups, exploitation of material resources, and much more. Could it be possible that the real reasons of war are hidden or distorted by some media propaganda? When real problems are kept secret, they're put on the people, and people start hating each other. Therefore, they act in induced external conflict. This hatred didn't belong to us. This hatred didn't exist until 1 year ago. Refugee camps accommodate and rescue thousands of people fled from Donbass. News on the war in the West were fragmented and partial. But the story of Donbass people are terrifying.
Мне часто задают журналисты вопрос, как мы думаем, кто стреляет по нам, зачем стреляют, с какой целью. Они попали, как вы видите, вот один из примеров, этот цех разрушен. Далее есть еще один цех разрушен, за мной видно здание, которое разрушено. И так по всей территории. На территории предприятия никогда, подчеркиваю, не было ни одного военного, ни так называемых сепаратистов, террористов, не просто людей с оружием и в форме. Более того, я скажу, что ближайшее расположение ополченцев отсюда это более 1 километра. Вот там находится в этом направлении блокпост.
We speak to who is born or grew up in Ukraine or in Donbass. We don't want to ask Donbass population not to feel anger, pain, or hate if their loved ones were killed. Neither we want to ask Ukrainian population not to feel anger if they believe that their country was divided. Wounds are various, but all of them are still fresh. So it might happen that you feel resentment toward the person very close to you, who once you loved and who suddenly no longer understands how you feel, that you suffer injustice. And you may think that this person is guilty about what happened. So even if you won't be able to speak and you continue to feel pain or anger, just try to think that this person was your daughter, your friend, your father, your brother. Try to think that you both wanted the same things. You both wanted a better life. Think that you, your family, and those who were your friends, all of you were separated. But all of you are acting in a conflict between powers, which is not your conflict. You're acting in a conflict that fell upon you. We speak to the honest people of Europe, Russia, America, and of the rest of the world who love peace and freedom. We ask these people to help us to break the mechanism of accusation, because only if the real problems in the relations between powers will be clear, will be possible to find solution through mediation. We ask the courageous politicians and journalists to give us back our eyes, let us see. We want to understand. But until that they tell us that the conflict exists between good and evil, where we are right and they are wrong, means that the real causes of the war are hidden. We don't want that the war is won. We want a conflict is resolved. We don't want to believe to the fable of a bad wolf, because we know that this fable is the base of every conflict. We want to take a way in which no other culture considers itself superior to the other one and carrying better values. A way in which it is clear that the bombing cannot bring peace nor democracy. In Donbass, thousands of civilians died. Russia is not our enemy, but if we continue to believe in the story of a bad enemy, the violence will increase and the war will come here, in Europe, in this square, in Italy.
Non sai mai se la voce la senti nell'orecchio o più in profondo, o più in profondo, o più in profondo, o più in profondo.